Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Insights of Leone. My name is Unisa Kamara, and I just want to welcome each and every one of you on today's show. Normally, I come on, with things to say about in reference to what is going on in Sierra Leone. Let's give credit where credit is due. Each government that comes into power plays a position. And as a leader, always understand that it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to criticize you. You're going to have a lot of attacks from different angles. Not to say that that individual is always doing wrong, or not to say that individual is always good. But as a leader, one thing that makes you a leader is being strong and able to accept criticism. Now, a lot of time when one is criticized is due to the fact that expectations are there. People expect so much out of you, so that is why. I'm also aware of the fact that each government tries. Now, don't get me wrong, there are individuals within a party that tries to destroy that party out of greed. That is just unavoidable. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is Africa. And which indeed, to my understanding, we have the anti-corruption to try to weed out those bad seeds. So unfortunately, it's due to those bad apples that a lot of time a party tends to crumble. But with the strong leader, everything shall be well. Now, with that said, today, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to start getting ready for the election 2023. Now, the election, basically, as each and every one of you are quite aware, it's the time where people come out and express what they can do for the nation, what they can do for the country, and what they can do for the people of that nation or country. Now, one thing that I've always expressed is the fact that I do not want someone that just come and talk and give promises, sell promises, okay? I expect one to come out and try to be humane, have empathy towards the people of that nation, and try to improve that country in so many different aspects. Now, with that said, I'm going to go back and just narrate a little bit of history as to the parties, which was initially, it was SLPP that was in the party in the beginning, in the way beginning. And APC came in 1960. Now, a lot of the things that are going on within these organizations, this party, I don't understand. Because the way APC was formed was members of the SLPP party that formed APC. That is why I don't understand why all this turmoil is going on. You're from the north, you're from the south, you're from the west, you're from the east, you're Creole, you're Timini, you're Mende. What is the essence of all that, ladies and gentlemen? We sit here and we tend to complain in reference to the government is not doing their job. But when in actuality, we are not showing likeness for each other. Now, as we go into it today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to touch upon the fact that Africa as a whole was one nation. It was in 1884 when it was divided into states during the Berlin Conference. Now, let's go back. Africa was one. And during the Berlin Conference, that's when it was divided into states, right? Now, why is it that if we are one and we're just states in America, for example, when you're in America, you go to New Jersey, you go to Washington, D.C., you're still acknowledged. Now, but in Africa, there's such a separation as a whole. One thing we need to realize is that Black Americans are so separated due to the fact that they don't have roots. Many of them growing up in America, when you ask them, where are you from? They don't say Africa, Jamaica, or anything like that. They say I'm from down south. A little bit ludicrous. They don't have a culture. Not to put anyone down, but I just want us to understand the basis of what we are losing. Africa is one of the richest continents in the world. We have so much, but we're too busy fighting. Now, today's show is about the election that is coming up. We need to find common grounds. We need to break away from so much that has been happening since 1962. Now, let me give you a little bit of history, ladies and gentlemen. The first president of Sierra Leone came into power in 1962. Okay? In 1962, we had our first president. Now, not to say that that's when everything started, but in a way, ladies and gentlemen, sad to say, that's when everything started. Now, the president then was a member of the SLPP. It was initially one party, and his name was Sir Milton Magai. Sir Milton Magai won the election in May of 1962. Now, was there a lot of turmoil during that election? They say in life, what we all try to do is evolve. We tend to look for improvement. We want betterment. We want changes. But what has changed from 1962 to 2023? Are we still going around the same circles? If you put a mouse in a cage, right? A hamster in a cage, you put cheese, it keeps going around the circle. It don't know any better, but thinking that it's going to catch that cheese. So it just keeps going around and around and around that cage. We has to come to the realization that it's us that need to make the change. It is us that bring these people into power. You know, I always tend to go on about how I'm a youth advocate. I am doing this, I am doing that. I can go on and say I am so proud to be Sierra Leonean, I'm so proud to be African. And that is what a lot of us tend to do. That is what a lot of us tend to do. But also there are a lot of us that just tend to say, oh, I am Sierra Leonean. Oh, I'm from Trinidad. Oh, I'm from Jamaica. But what are you doing to improve your country? What are you doing to improve your country? Now, Sir Milton Magai died in 1964. Now, he became president in 1962. Okay? He died in 1964. And Sir Albert Magai succeeded him as the prime minister. Now, at that time, Sir Milton Magai attempted to establish one party. One party, one nation. Now, as we are all watching, the question that a lot of us or a lot of you should ask is, how can a nation be ruled by one party? How can a nation be ruled by one party? You have to give people the option to choose. So, with that being said, there was opposition, and which indeed members of the SLPP did not agree. So there was a lot of aggression within the party, and he abandoned the idea of having a one party. And at that time, APC was coming in strong. March 1967, the APC now won the parliament seats. Okay? Let's go. APC was just formed by members of the SLPP, and in 1967, they won seats in the parliament. Was there peace along this process? Was there a lot of turmoil along this road? The saddest thing about this is that, are we repeating history? Because now what we are doing is that so many other parties are being formed. Why are all these parties being formed? Is due to the fact that because I don't agree with this party, I don't agree with what they're saying, so I'm going to create my party. Might sound a little bit ludicrous. Instead of saying, I'm going to form a party, why don't you see how you can help the nation? Why don't you see how you can work with the government and see how to improve the country? Now, I am aware of the fact that they say, oh, the freedom of speech is no more. Sad to say, but it is true. It is also saying there's also a lot going on with people's lands being taken away, which indeed I put a lot of emphasis on. Children being raped, which is saddening. But when are we going to change? When is this going to stop? You know, people judge you. We as human beings, we are very judgmental beings, and we are quick to judge. Instead of judging somebody else, look at yourself. Look at what it is that you are doing wrong and try to correct it. See what it is that you can do that you can help your little community. A lot of time, we as human beings, we like to point the finger. What is the essence of pointing the finger when you're pointing them back at you? You point one finger, you have three pointing at you. The government has a lot to do with a lot of things that are going on in a country. That is absolutely positively right. And many of you know I'm quite outspoken. I say what I feel, I verbalize it. If I'm feeling something, I'm going to verbalize it. If I'm thinking something, I am going to verbalize it. If you think what I'm saying is wrong at any given time, I always give you the opportunity to respond to me. I've given out my email. I've given out my phone number. Many of you contact me. So I have yet to actually sit with somebody to say, Unisa, I disagree with what you said. And I would love for somebody out there to just say, Unisa, I want to come on your show because I disagreed with what you said at so and so time. And I will be more than happy to welcome you. I love a debate. I love somebody to say, well, Unisa, you said this, but why did you not look at it from this perspective, from this angle? You know, we're all human beings. We have to learn to take criticism. And criticism makes you stronger. Don't look at it in a negative way. Look at it as, you know what? Let me hear what they're saying. Let me see what it is that I can do to change it around. Don't always put your chest out and put your head up and say you're insulting me. That's not solving a situation. Now, as we're going back to the election years, I want us to understand the essence of where we are and where we're coming from. I want us to do some comparisons. What has changed? Back then, it was one party. Samir Tsemagai won the presidency in 1962. He died 1964. And then his, Sir Albert Magai took over. He wanted to form this one government. All of a sudden, people start coming out. APC said no. Members of the SLPP that were in that party were ones that pulled out. It was not too many people. It was not Mende. It was not Creole. It was SLPP. One. They formed APC with all people. APC, All People's Party. SLPP. We have to understand a lot of this hatred that is coming from is being fed, and it's just growing and growing and growing. If we don't learn to love each other, we will lose so much more than we think we're losing now. Now, as I stated, in 1967, APC won the parliamentary seats. According to the Governor General, which was representing the British monarchy, Henry Lightfoot Boston, declared Checker Stevens, APC leader, who was the mayor then, as the prime minister. Let's look at it. How it's changing. APC, SLPP was ruling, and then it evolved to now APC president. Was there a lot of fighting? Yes. Am I going to go into it as to tell you the mayhem that was occurring? How many people got executed? No. I can tell you that so many lives were lost. I can tell you that currently so many lives are being taken currently in Sierra Leone as well. What is changing? What is actually changing? Again, the election is coming up. The reason why we're doing this show today, ladies and gentlemen, because I want us to break the chains. I want us to break away from what had occurred. Let the past be the past. Let's focus on making our country stronger and better. A change don't happen overnight. That is quite understandable. But somehow, some way, it has to start. It's like saying, in order for you to complete a journey, you have to start it. In order for you to move a mountain, you have to start. Everything we do, there's a beginning and the ending. The beginnings are never easy, but the end are quite fruitful. When you get to your destination, you can enjoy a good meal, you can have a good rest, you can relax. There's so much more that we can all gain from such a rich continent, a rich country. A lot of time, we tend to stop ourselves from growing, and then we want to point the fingers at someone else. Why are we so quick to point the finger at someone else? Why is it that we are not able to take responsibility of our action? An action, a reaction. There's a pro and a con. A coin has two sides. If the government is not doing what is right, listen, do the little bit that you can do and contribute to humanity. Be humane. A lot of black leaders in America, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you can go back to, the president of South Africa, Mandela. Every one of them took a stand. They did not say, I would do it after this party, after the Republicans get out of the office, or after the Democrats get out the office. You take an action when you think something's not right. It don't need to be a violent action. It can be just gathering the little kids in the community and do something progressive. We have to know that something has to be done. And we have also have come to the realization that something has to be done. But the thing is, who's going to take action? They have little kids that are stepping up in India when they see something's wrong, take action. And eventually, people support them. You have little kids in America taking action. We have great leaders, young children in Africa that are trying to progress, but we are not supporting them. We are absolutely, positively not supporting these youths, these kids. We are failing our youths and we are failing our nation. But at the end of the day, we want to point the finger. All I can say is 2023, the election that is coming up, make sure that you pick who you think is right to rule a country. Do your, your research. Do your research. Don't go vote because, I've been APC all my life. Don't go vote because, I don't like that person. Vote because your vote will make a difference. Vote because you believe in something. Now, Sheikh Stephen was arrested by Brigadier David Lansana, the commander of the Sierra Leone military force, which was a SLMF. Now, I can sit here and we can really go into it as to why Shakur Stephen and Lightfoot were arrested. Lightfoot Boston is his name, were arrested. But some of the charges were the grounds that determination, you know, grounds that determines the office should await election of a tribal representative to the House. Intimidation, a lot of things were put into play during that time. A lot of things occurred, which indeed, again, I don't want to go into the negative aspects of it. But all I can tell you is that there's been a lot of people that lost their lives during this period, during this time. When are we as a nation going to change? When are we as children of a nation going to take a stand? There are so many ways we can make a difference. It's not all about making an audio all the time. It's not all about making an audio all the time. Take action. You can make your audio. I'm not stopping it. Who am I to stop you from making an audio? Who am I stopping you from making a video? But along the way, do a little bit to help the country. What are you doing? What are you doing always attacking other people? What are you gaining? The world sees when someone is doing wrong. Your input is appreciated into highlighting what this person is doing wrong. But believe you me, the world is watching. They say when you do something in the dark, eventually the light will shine. Give it time, and we shall all see the results of each and every one. And I always talk about legacies. Leave a positive legacy. Tomorrow is not promised for anyone. Now, Hamilton, my guy, I can sit here and talk about what he has done right, what he has done wrong. Did he leave a positive legacy or negative legacy? Even though he was only in the office for 2 years before he passed. So Albert, my guy, came into power. Did he leave a positive legacy or negative legacy? No one can create your legacy but you. The only thing people can do is to talk about your legacy, share your legacy, show what you have done. Or if they cannot show it, the kids that you support will speak of you and say, I remember what that individual, that person did for me. I remember when I did not have anything, that person came to my aid. And when someone says thank you, it's a blessing. We have to take time, ladies and gentlemen, and really have a look at ourselves. What are we doing? It's not just going around saying, I'm from Africa. Well done. Congratulations. I'm happy that you're proud that you're an African. How clean is your heart? How clean is your heart? Now, as you go forward, March 23rd, the gentleman that had arrested Shakur Stevens and Lightfoot Boston were executed. were killed. Okay? And that's when they suspended the Constitution. The group, the NRC, which indeed many of you are aware of them, National Reformation Council, came into play with Brigadier Andrew as its chairman to make a difference. In which, in 1968, led by Sergeant Weevil, and it evolved to the anti-corruption. How things evolve, is it for the positive? Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? Is it for the negative? The essence of life, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's about growth. How we grow depends on us. Let's look at this. Many Americans, the British, can travel to Africa without a visa, without any problem, right? But when you, as an African, want to travel to London or America, you need a visa. You ask so many questions, so many documents you need to provide. Why? Why? This question is to the leaders of the country. Why is it that these countries can enter this continent, this beautiful continent, at will? But when your brothers and sisters want to go over to their side, have problems. What gives them the entitlement to feel that they're above your country? And then they also have the entitlement to come into your country and get natural resources, minerals, all these things. And they come and get business ideas and come back to the West and develop these ideas. World Bank is giving a loan to America. Have you seen the percentages? I spoke about that on the last show, a couple of shows back. And when it comes to World Bank giving a loan to Africa, the interest rate is so high. If we don't value ourselves, our country, if we're not proud of our country, how can someone else be proud of us? Think of Africa as your child. We call it Mama Africa. So let's say, think of it as your mother. How proud are you of your mother? How proud of you are you of your parents? Would you let an outsider abuse your parents? There's so many angles to look at things. I spoke to someone that totally disappointed me. He stated that he stopped investing in Africa because he don't trust his people in Africa. Why can't we trust our brothers and sisters in Africa? I can sit here, I can give you examples. They're hungry, they don't have jobs, there's nothing for them to do, they're not going to school, they're just walking up and down the streets. It's so many different aspects. What we as a nation need to do, this is for you. Whoever is going to run for presidency, I know the white paper has yet to come out. Many of us are waiting for the white paper to come out. But when you're running for presidency, when you're running to rule the nation, don't talk the talk. Make sure you're going to be able to walk the walk. Create jobs. Create jobs. Try to find means of supporting the youths, the elderly, the disabled. There are so many things that can be done. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying 5 years in an office, what can be done in 5 years? So much more. So much. The roads need to be built. You need to make an impression. You need to bring investors into your country. You don't want investors to come in and see your country the way it is. That's making you look bad as well. And that any value that they had of that country automatically decreases. We need to learn to value our country. We need to find a solution to rebuild our nation. And we are here complaining that we don't have investors coming into the country. I know a lot of investors that want to go to Sierra Leone. But again, due to the corruption, when they go there, they have to give money to this person, which indeed is pure bribery, and which indeed the anti-corruption agency need to look into. It's a lot of briberies. I need to go see Mr. John. Okay, so for me to get to Mr. John, I have to start from Mr. A to Mr. B and Mr. C. And as I'm going up, I have to be given money. By the time I get to Mr. John, I've lost interest, or my money's almost done. And then when I go back, I'll be like, oh, you don't want to go to that country. It's a lot of corruption. That is not what you want for people to speak of your country, of your government officials. You need to tighten the loop. In 1968, the APC cabinet was appointed, and was there peace? No, it was not peace. 1968, again, a state of emergency was declared. 1968, I didn't say 1978 or 1990 or 89 or 98, 1968. It's just sad, ladies and gentlemen. It's completely sad. And I cannot put enough emphasis on it. So, in 1971, the government survived an unsuccessful military coup. Now, whenever we have a coup that come into play, that's another party that is forming, or military that is saying what this government is doing they don't like, so they want to take over. So in 1971, even though it was unsuccessful, they tried. And a Republican constitution was adopted under Checker Stevens when he was president. Now, we're up to 1971, 72, Checker Stevens era. Did Checker Stevens do right by the people? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. But again, so much has occurred. Ladies and gentlemen, these problems became so severe that there was a boycott in 1973 during the general election. 1973, there was a boycott during the election. As APC won 84% of the elected seats. 84 seats out of 85 seats. So again, it was a lot of turmoil, a lot of things occurred. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure you can visualize it in Africa. You say you won, and then I don't agree with you. I already spoke about the military, coup that tried to come in. I already spoke about the boycott. So think about it. All these things that are going on, there is no order. When they have an election in the UK, you don't see none of this nonsense. And many of you went to school here in the UK. When there's election in America, you don't see a lot of this. Because an order is put in place. There's a sense of respect. But in 1977 now, the students start demonstrating against the government because of the politics that were going on in 1977. Think about it. We started off in 1962. Now we are up to 1977. There is still things wrong in the government. Something is not right. For the people to be coming up against the government, a party that they elect, something is not right. I can keep telling you the history of the corruption, which a general election was called later that year, in which a corruption again ended up being, why? They say APC won 74 seats. SLPP, 15 seats. I cannot put enough emphasis on it. Let me give credit to the government that is in power now. You might not be perfect, but you try. If you're trying in a positive way, kudos to you. I applaud you. But one day you will meet your maker. If you're doing it in a negative way, shame on you. One day you'll meet your maker. But as a citizen, I can voice my opinion. But I'm sitting on a platform where so many people watch. But all I can say to you as a leader of a nation, do the best to leave a positive legacy. To my brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone, to my brothers and sisters all over the world, let's don't just say, I am proud to be a Sierra Leonean. What are you actually doing? What are you actually doing? We need to build this country. If you go there, you meet, as soon as you land in the airport, people are begging you already. The TSA people asking for money. The people that are helping you with your bag asking you for money. You step out the airport, they asking you for money. The police out there asking you for money. You go to an office building, they ask you for money. Something has to change. We need a leader that is going to say, enough is enough. So much has occurred since 1962 to now. APC was in power. Sheikh Stephen came in. APC ruled for how many years? So we have to find a way where a lot of this can stop. I cannot put enough emphasis on it, ladies and gentlemen. We owe it to Africa. We owe it to our brothers and sisters. We owe it to ourselves to say enough is enough. The elections are coming up. People are going to come selling dreams. Initially, whenever an election starts, they have the right intentions, ladies and gentlemen. They do have the right intentions. But once they get into the office, things change. Absolutely, things change. People change. When are we going to see a government that says, you know what, we need to make a rapid change. We need to do import and export. Africa, the land is so rich. Agriculture. There's so much ways to make money in Africa. But instead, we are selling things to foreigners. We are selling our home, our country, to other people. We are sending our children to other countries to be educated. There's nothing wrong with that. But invest in your country. Sierra Leone is your home. Build school. I applaud Ashmal Bangura. Ashmal Bangura built a school for kids. She has built a school for kids out of her money, trying to make a difference. And she's in America, and she built a school in Africa. Uniform, chairs, everything. Bobson Kabir built a hospital. Winston Kabir building a whole factory to empower these kids. Building homes to put people in. I can go down the list and I can tell you how many people I'm in contact with that are making of a difference. What are we doing? Again, if I don't know you, reach out. Reach out to Amaze Television, make a difference, and I'll be more than happy to have you on the show so we can just talk about the good that you're doing for this beautiful country. There are so many diasporas, and I've met so many of you. What can we do to make a difference? It's not just to say I'm going to vote for this person because I don't like this person, or I'm going to vote for this person because this person don't speak my tribe. Vote for the person that your heart believes is going to make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is almost to an end. I want to thank each and every one of you, but I want us to just reflect on everything that I just said, how we all started. Remember, Africa in 1884 was then separated during the Berlin Conference into states: Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Guinea. And because I'm in London, I have a British passport or an American passport, it gives me entitlement to go to this beautiful continent whenever I want, without visa, without a hassle. But people that live in that beautiful continent want to come over, they ask them all kinds of questions and so forth. Don't you think there's something wrong somewhere? if you're valued, you value your country, you put your country first, believe me, other people will see and they will value your country. Remember, you say Mama Salon, sweet Mama Salon, sweet Mother Africa, sweet Africa, sweet Mother Africa. Are you respecting her the way she needs to be respected? Are you treating her the way she needs to be treated? Are you supporting her the way she needs to be supported? Ladies and gentlemen, as I come to an end, I just want to say I thank you for watching. I thank you for being with me. It's always an honor to be here. I will be more than happy to have a guest with me next week. So let's see who I will bring on to the show, because I think I need to have a discussion with someone, and I already know who that person is. So as I leave you, I just want to say, may God continue to be with you always. May God continue to bless you. May He continue to guide you on the path, on the journey that you're on. And whatever your heart desires, I pray that He gives it to you. Please, we have a charity that we're doing to support youths all over the world. Please support. Give love, show love. Give love, show love. It's all self-explanatory. So, as I bid you all a good day, a good week, let's go into the video, gentlemen.
Amaze TV is here to restore, rebuild, revive the nation.
We can never appreciate the hardship that creates a feeling of having nothing, but we can create the change that makes a difference. Join us, and together we can have an impact.
It's time for us to change the narrative and extend our humanity to the entire world.
Love is kind. It is not self-seeking. Let us extend our love and kindness in the best possible way we can.
Freely you have received the love of God. Freely give back to society. Extend a blessing to someone out there.
One can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000.
We believe in our communities and we believe in our youths. Let's work together and make a difference.
Our world needs you to be a part of a revolutionary change.
United we stand, divided we fall.
Give love.
Show love.
Hashtag give love, show love.